Okay, so this is my photo shoot area here. Essentially, what we're going to talk about is the unboxing and the preparation of a drone. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to want to do is obviously open the box. Inside we've got our drone. First thing you want to be able to do is to remove the drone safely. You probably don't want to grab it by the wings. Ideally, you'd probably be picking it up over here by the sensors, okay? That's probably the best thing. It's a solid piece and it's not going to cause any sort of damage, okay? And definitely because they are expensive, you want to do it the right way. So we're going to pull the drone out. We've got it out. Let me set the box aside for the time being, okay? Again, we've got two different sets of arms that we need to now unfold. We've got the top ones that are pretty straightforward, but then the bottom ones are a bit more. Top ones are rather easy. Again, this is the top of the drone. Okay, it's always got the brand name DJI on the front of it. The bottom is going to have the two sensors at the bottom here. Okay, so back over to the top side. Okay, how you're going to want to do this is grab the drone arm up here by the motor housings, and you are going to move it out, directly out to the side like this, and then it locks in place. Okay, you're going to grab the drone in the center, grab the motor housing on the other side, and you are going to extend it like so. Okay, now we will flip the drone over, and at that point you are going to be unfolding the bottom wings. Okay, these are only going to be able to be opened from the bottom, and what you're going to do is you're going to make sure that the propellers are not laced together. You'll make a nasty little sound, but essentially what you're going to be doing is you are going to be lifting. You can grab it from the motor housings as such, and you are going to be lifting up towards your face. Okay, you are going to be lifting upwards towards your face as such. Okay, so now we have all of our drone arms extended fully, and what we're going to do is next we're going to take off the gimbal cover. The gimbal cover, if you notice, is right here. There's a small little handle, more or less, that you are able to lift up. I oftentimes recommend an individual put perhaps their index finger towards the front of the gimbal cover, and then you are going to lift using the small handle here. You are going to lift it up just enough so the two small prongs that are found right here and here are able to lift up over these two holes right here. Okay, this is what I oftentimes refer to as the hinge portion of it. We'll get into that a little bit more when we box the drone back up. Okay, so anyway, we've got our gimbal cover. We're going to put it into the box itself, and then we probably need to put a battery in our drone. Okay, I'm going to set this down gently. Okay, but right here you have our drone charging box. Okay, it holds 3 batteries, and if you notice, there are some unlit LED lights right here. Anytime you insert a battery into it, it will show the individual charges for all 3 of the batteries. So just to show you briefly, I am going to pull out on this one. There's some, I guess some, I don't know what you would even call these things, but you are going to depress them on one side and you are going to pull it out. But in this case, let's just take a look at the LED lights, okay? So all 3 of the LED light indicators are lit up, 4 dots green for each and every one of them. That tells them that all 3 of the batteries are 100% charged. If for some reason our battery was dead, it would probably only show 1 individual LED light lit. Okay, so we are going to pinch our battery here at the top. Okay, notice how it will depress in. You're going to depress both of these two. It will release the battery and we'll pull it out. So now I have a battery. Okay, we have the side with the number 249 on it. that will be at the bottom of it, and then you will have this side which has the technical specs of the battery on it that is going to be invisible because you're going to be putting this actually inside of the drone. Okay, so we are going to take our battery and we are going to slide it in. Okay, as I have mentioned before, you're definitely going to want to make sure that the number 249 shows at the bottom of the drone. Okay, but you don't need to pinch or anything like this. You simply slide it straight in. Okay, put it in. You will push it in until it clicks. Okay, you now have your drone 100% ready to turn on. The gimbal cover is off, the battery is in, it's a good battery. We're going to flip it over and I'm going to show you how you are going to start the drone. Not fly the drone, but just power it on. Okay, I'm going to do a quick touch and then immediately follow down with another touch, but this time I'm going to hold it. So a quick touch and then a hold, and then the drone should start up. Okay, so you're going to depress it at least maybe about a second, and then a second time, and notice that the LED lights have entirely lit, and then it makes a little sound like that. But essentially what has happened is at the same time, I don't know if you noticed it, but there was a small twitch in the propeller. So I'm going to shut it down, and again, that's the exact same way that I turned it on. A single quick depress, about a second long, and then a hold. You generally for about 2 seconds, 3 seconds, and then it will either turn on or off. Notice when I turn it back on, in addition to making that lovely little sound that it made, it is also going to be twitchy. Okay, I want you to watch the blades, and that's another way that you can tell it, even if for some reason it doesn't make a noise. So a quick depress and then a hold. Okay, notice that it made a small little twitch on each one of the wings of the drone. So now our drone is 100% on, the lights will remain lit, it's made the sound, we've twitched, all that good stuff. And then I'm going to set this to the side. Okay, let's get our remote control out. Okay, the remote control is still in the box. We've got to get that thing out. Let's pull it on out. And before we do anything else with our drone, we are going to want to put the joysticks in. If you flip the joysticks over, if you flip the remote control over, you will notice that our two joysticks are actually embedded in two joystick holders. Basically, you can pry them up with your finger or your fingernail. They do not offer much resistance. You flip it over and you can then screw the joystick into the, I guess the screwy thing right there. Okay, maybe I'll do a better job of actually showing you the next time. Okay, so I am removing the joystick from the holders, flip it back over, and if you look ever so closely, there is a threaded nubby that is sticking up right there, and it very nicely holds the joystick in place. You don't need to super over tighten it, just get it so it has spun to its maximum ability without adding too much in the way of pressure. Okay, so we're going to turn it back on. Or we're going to turn our remote control on, and we're going to do it the exact same way that we actually turned it off. Okay, so I'm going to do a quick depress, and then I am going to hold it. Okay, you are going to get your 4 LED lights to start flashing as such, and then additionally you will get a red LED light right next to it that is on. Okay, it takes a couple moments to actually get it started up. But we are going to be good to go here very soon. Okay, the drone should automatically connect to the actual remote control, and when that occurs, you will actually be able to see the camera view. Okay, so before we kind of are done with this, the first thing that I want you to take notice of is this particular corner in the upper left-hand corner. Currently it says N mode, okay? It says N mode right here, okay? And this N mode is basically what is referred to as normal mode, okay? For our purposes, at least right now, I want you to put it into cinema mode, okay? So in cinema mode, the drone is going to fly a lot slower and there will be a lot less abrupt possible movements. Naturally, when the remote control boots up, it is going to be in normal mode. So with normal mode, we're going to take it out of normal mode. We're going to switch it over to C mode, and then we get the letter C shows up in the center and it says cinema mode, okay? So we are, at this point, good to go. So let's show you around a little bit in terms of the drone remote control here. It shows that we are in C mode. It shows that here is our battery life right here. We're not actually going to be able to see how much battery life we actually have until it actually starts to take flight, but we know that our battery was 100% charged, okay? So if we take a look here at our remote control, here are our two joysticks. If you remember, we did start to play around with these roller controls right here. And this particular roller control right here is the one on this one over here is the one that is actually showing how much of a pitch there is with the drone. Okay, with the drone actually, and this might not be possible because of the sunlight, so I apologize for that, but you are going to see a line right over in this area that is going to be a hash marked line, and that hash marked line will actually show you what the angle of the actual camera is. It ranges from 60 degrees up, okay, 60 degrees up right now, and then we can take it all the way down to 90 degrees, and it is 90 degrees down eventually. If I'd held my finger on this roller over here, you would have actually been able to see the drone go 100% of the way down, okay? So 100% of the way down is what we're looking at right now. And that is 90 degrees down. You can see the hash mark right here. Okay, so at this point, I want you to take a look here at our up arrow. Our up arrow is right over here in the left center of the screen. The left center of the screen, basically what happens is you can tap on this, and then all of a sudden you get this dialog box in the center that says up for takeoff. Literally, you can then put either your thumb or a finger on this, and you will notice that there will be a green border that all of a sudden illuminates around this circle. Okay, one of the things that I want you to notice is, watch, if I hold it down just barely, it will only go so far and it will not take off. But all of a sudden, once we actually go so far as to illuminate it entirely, it will be entirely lit up. And at that point, you can let go of it and our drone will take off, okay? You can see that the drone is now all of a sudden up in the air, okay? So pretty easy, pretty simple to do. I'm going to take it up and over just a bit more. So I'm going to get a little better landing spot right here, and then I'm going to take the drone down, and I'm going to actually take it the exact same way down that I took it up. Here is a down arrow button. If I look at where we are at right now. I'm theoretically going to be landing somewhere just a little off center of my table where I am at right now. So I am going to tap the center I'm going to tap the down arrow button, and then we have the land dialog box right in front of us, and I am going to depress that entirely. It's entirely lit up green, and then I am going to let go. Okay, and the drone is ever so slowly coming down, 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 and it has landed. Okay, so it then shuts off, and you are at this point ready to shut things down because it is the end of class period. So what I want you to do is I want you to, again, we've got to shut down our remote control. I'm going to do a short tap followed by a long depression, and the screen will go out until it eventually 100% powers off. You are then going to take your joysticks off so it will fit back into the box. I'm going to turn to the left, and I've taken that one off, and I can put that into the joystick holding area, and I can take this one off here, and I can place this one into the other side there. Okay, so the remote control is now 100% off, and now we've got to get our drone back in the box. So let me grab the drone here, and we're going to shut down the drone. Okay, the drone oftentimes is very warm. It does cool itself the more it flies, but the drone are not, I mean, you can expect them to be rather warm, okay, when you do touch them. So I am going to do the short depress and then a long hold. Single light will flash, and lo and behold, it is off. Okay, so I am going to now pull out the battery. Okay, I'll set my drone down because now all of a sudden I need to put it back in. Most of the time you can put this back in and basically mirror whatever the other batteries are doing, but there's only one way that they do go in, and if it doesn't go in one way, it'll go in another way. So you put it in, it will click, and then all of a sudden you will see 1, 2, 3, 4 LED lights on all 3 of the batteries, meaning that all 3 of them are 100% charged. Okay, so at this point, let us start to fold in the wings of the drone. Okay, first set of wings, as I said, we're going to do the top ones. They are the easiest ones to do. They literally are going to be pushing forward. Again, I want you to grab the leg by the motor housing out here where the propellers are actually attached. You are going to hold it, and you are going to fold it directly inwards, just like that. Okay, let's do that on the second one. Okay, we are going to fold it. It's usually best to kind of move the propellers back, and then you can really just fold the 2 sets of propellers inward, and then let's flip it over to the other side. Okay, then we're going to either grab the arm or the motor housing. The motor housing is probably the best place to do it, and you are going to fold the bottom arms in. But to do this, as opposed to folding them directly inward, you are actually going to be folding it up towards your face, upwards. Okay, and then we are going to spin our propellers around so they nest in between these 2 landing I guess landing feet right here. Okay, not really well, yeah, we'll call them landing feet. Okay, grab our arm right here or up here, grab the arm in, fold it up towards your face, and all of a sudden it is back in. So let's fold in these